Hi, my name's Colette Roy, and I want to tell you a little bit about who I am. I have been a professional organizer in Boulder, Colorado for the past 20 years, and I've been helping loads and loads of families decrease their clutter and set up systems of efficiency and ideally help them love their home more than feel overwhelmed by it. So in those 20 years, I have been witnessing a lot of the stressors that clutter creates inside of couples, especially if there's a discrepancy in how each of them deal with clutter. I tend to call it a clutter threshold, and almost everyone has a different one. And so when you have two people who have very different clutter thresholds, it's not a peaceful place for one of them to live. I just went on an estimate yesterday, and one of the partners is really, she likes things tidy, she likes minimalist, she doesn't like a lot of stuff around, and she lives with her child and her partner who are not like her. And it causes a lot of stress and hopelessness, frustration, and it definitely can create some disconnection between your partner, especially if there's a lot of clutter around the house. So this is why I wrote a book called Clutter in Couples, and it is a book that will help you to identify how you're feeling, first and foremost, in your body, in your mind, how it's affecting you, with some very pointed questions to get you to reflect. And also, ideally, to do it with your partner. The goal is that you do the book separately and you record your answers separately in a journal, and then set aside time every week or maybe every couple of weeks to discuss what you're finding about the way that your house is making you feel and the way that your partner's clutter or stuff, it doesn't even have to be clutter. Clutter is such a relative term, and I think that's really important to understand that we all have different definitions of what clutter is, and it's going to have a lot of variables due to how you were raised, how your nervous system works, how you like to live. If you have a desire to live simply and your partner doesn't, that's going to cause some pretty significant challenges between you. The book is created to help you with those challenges and to teach you how to communicate without fear and without anger. Ideally, the anger piece isn't going to solve it. It really won't. And it's so important for each of us as humans to learn how to express ourselves without blame and criticism and judgment. And yet we don't really learn how to do that as kids. I didn't. I don't know about you, but it seems like it's not a skill set that is, or it was taught. Maybe they're being better. I mean, I've certainly watched some of my clients' kids come out with some curriculums, and I thought, wow, what would it be like if I had learned that at that age? That would have been helpful. So anyway, the book, Clutter in Couples, it's a really wonderful tool. It's almost like a workbook to some extent, and it will help you be able to talk about the clutter and also to change it. I have action steps in the back of every chapter, small little baby steps for you to tackle so that you feel like you're making progress as you're working through the book. And then at the end of the book, I have some very specific instructions on how you and your partner can truly create the sanctuary you both want to live in, with, of course, buy-in from each of you. It's got to be a joint effort. It can't just be on one side, because resentment's going to build, frustration, nothing good. That's what I'll say, nothing good. So if you both can get on board with changing the house in ways that will serve both of you and your kids, it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot better. I know it for sure.